Welcome to this explainer. Right now, we're diving straight into the shockingly brazen assassination attempt on the US president. In moments of national crisis like this, there's always a massive rush of chaotic information. But today, we're cutting through the noise. We are relying strictly on the verified reporting to clearly understand the timeline, the suspect, and the stated motives. My goal here is to guide you through the verified facts of an event that is, frankly, entirely unprecedented.
Here's how we're going to break this down. First, the Washington event unfolds. Second, details of the charges. Third, the suspect's background. And fourth, the assassin's manifesto.
Okay, part one, the Washington event unfolds. Let's get right into exactly what went down at the Washington Hilton on Saturday night during the White House Correspondents' Dinner.
It is absolutely wild how fast this escalated from a drafted email to an active shooting. Just look at this sequence. Exactly 10 minutes prior to the attack, an anti-Trump manifesto is sent directly to the suspect's family members. 10 minutes. Then, suddenly, at the moment of the incident, the suspect somehow manages to bypass the venue's heavy security. He is actively firing shots as he pushes toward the main space. Within minutes, literally just minutes after the chaos erupts, law enforcement apprehends him. And crucially, President Donald Trump and Vice President J.D. Vance, along with all those senior officials and journalists, are swiftly secured and taken to safety. The entire terrifying ordeal was compressed into just a handful of minutes. Moving on to part two. Details of the charges and the immediate federal prosecution following this historic security breach. Now, we really have to talk about the sheer gravity of what's on the line here. The suspect is only 31 years old, and he's looking at a maximum of a life sentence for his actions if convicted. A life sentence. The weight of that single consequence really sets the stage for the massive legal battle we're about to witness.
So what exactly is he charged with? The primary charge, obviously, is attempting to assassinate the US president. But that's alongside two distinct firearms crimes. He was fast-tracked to a federal arraignment, though he entered no plea. Right now, he's being represented by two assistant public defenders. And here's a really critical detail his lawyer, Tassira Abe, pointed out to the court. The suspect holds absolutely no prior criminal record. Nothing. So like anyone else entering the justice system, he is presumed innocent at this time.
And that total lack of a criminal history leads us perfectly into part three, the suspect's background and the true identity of the accused shooter, Cole Thomas Allen. Honestly, his resume is going to throw you for a loop because it creates this eerie contrast to the violent crime he's accused of. Cole Thomas Allen is a 31-year-old based out of the LA area. He graduated with a Bachelor of Science in Mechanical Engineering from Caltech in 2017, which, as you know, is incredibly prestigious. He then earned a master's degree in computer science from CSU Dominguez Hills. Professionally, the guy wears a ton of hats. He's a mechanical engineer, a computer scientist, an indie game developer, and even a part-time teacher. We're looking at a highly educated, deeply technical background that stands in stark, almost unbelievable opposition to your typical violent offender profile.
It's this massive contradiction, right? On one side, you've got his everyday life in California, the ostensibly normal, productive part-time teacher and computer scientist. But on the flip side, you have the chilling moniker he assigned himself, the friendly federal assassin. The disturbing duality of his identity is glaringly apparent here. How does someone living a totally normal life pivot to branding themselves as an assassin?
Well, that dark pivot brings us to part four, the assassin's manifesto. This is the document distributed right before the attack that outlines his stated motive. So just a 10-minute warning to his family, and he hits send on this manifesto. In it, he details his reasoning, his intended targets, and his own tactical assessment of the venue's security arrangements. This wasn't just some spontaneous outburst. The level of premeditation here is chilling. He actually signed the document, quote, Cold Force-friendly federal assassin Allen, fully adopting that violent persona. Let's actually look at his exact words to understand how he rationalized this. In the manifesto, he wrote, "Turning the other cheek is for when you yourself are oppressed. I'm not the person raped in a detention camp. I'm not the fisherman executed without trial. I'm not a school kid blown up or a child starved or a teenage girl abused by the many criminals in this administration. Turning the other cheek when someone else is oppressed is not Christian behavior. It is complicity in the oppressor's crimes." In his own highly charged language, he's explicitly attempting to justify his actions as a necessary moral intervention against what he perceived as systemic oppression. He then concluded his thoughts with this incredibly intense line. "I am no longer willing to permit a pedophile, rapist, and traitor to coat my hands with his crimes." Now, to be absolutely clear, we are presenting these accusations neutrally today simply to explain the suspect's stated mindset. But these are the extreme political grievances he leveled against the administration, and they acted as the ultimate catalyst for the horrific events at the Washington Hilton. So as the investigation pushes forward, it leaves us with a huge, critical question to ponder. With a life sentence on the line, a suspect with absolutely zero criminal history but a highly educated background, and a manifesto claiming moral justification for a presidential assassination attempt, how on earth will this unprecedented case unfold in federal court? The complexities of this prosecution are going to be staggering. The justice system is now tasked with untangling the deeply split life of Cole Thomas Allen. I really hope this explainer helped you clearly grasp the facts, the rapid timeline, and the motives behind this shocking event. Thank you so much for joining me, and as always, keep questioning what you see.